Alright mates, how's it going? In today's video, Chapter 5 of Illidan by William King. I'm not entirely sure if I can maintain the Illidan voice for this entire video, but let's give it a try, shall we? Let's go! As Illidan entered the vast chamber where Magtheridon was bound, he was ever so slightly pissed off. Firstly, his recent loss had hurt his pride a little bit, but also there were reports of Maiev and her peeps still hanging about in Outland, but so far nobody could find the bitch. Failed your mission for Kil'jaeden, did you? Not surprised. You are nothing but a failure. Illidan muttered a word of power, sending a surge of energy through the chains binding the Pit Lord, which hurt Magtheridon quite a bit. Must be embarrassing to be defeated by such a failure. You think you've defeated me? Yeah. Or are you too stupid to realise that being imprisoned is not a sign of victory? The Demon Hunter then sent another surge of energy through Magtheridon's chains. He was doing this for a reason though, which will soon become clear. I'm not the only one that's been defeated. I wonder how Lord Kil'jaeden will respond when he learns that you've squandered your last chance. How do you know I've failed? Come now, little Illidan. It's not rocket science. I can see that unpleasant scratch on your side, and you reek of the walking dead. You've the taint of that great blade Frostmourne on you. 'Twas true. Illidan had gone to Azeroth, fought against Arthas, and lost. And with that defeat, Illidan's last chance of destroying the Frozen Throne and appeasing Kil'jaeden was gone. And I already animated that fight in the Arthas series, so I'm not doing it again. You will not escape Kil'jaeden, nor will you spare Azeroth. His invasion of your precious homeworld cannot be stopped. Illidan lanced the Pit Lord with yet another surge of pain. Magtheridon was almost weak enough now. Kil'jaeden is not known for his mercy, Demon Hunter. He will not be gentle when he takes his vengeance on you. For a fourth time, Illidan sent a surge of fell power through Magtheridon's chains, and the Pit Lord was now weak enough. It was time. Akama. The door to the chamber squeaked open, and Akama entered, and as he shuffled over to Illidan very sheepishly, he did not take his eyes off Magtheridon at all. Tell me, Broken One, has the betrayer returned your temple to you yet? What do you wish of me, Master? Akama, what do you see? I see Magtheridon bound. I see great spells holding him in place, and I see you standing in triumph. Are you not curious as to why I have preserved him? I am, Lord. He wants my blood, Broken One. What's he talking about? He is correct. His blood contains the secret to creating fell orcs. It can be distilled into an elixir that gives the orcs might and ferocity. And why would you do that? Because I have need of an army. The Burning Legion is coming for us. They must be defeated, no matter what it takes. Creating more of those foul creatures it's an abomination, Lord Illidan. Forgive me, but it's true. You've outraged your pet's sensibilities. It's not the first time either. Illidan spoke a fifth word of power to shut Magtheridon up. However, he did have his doubts about Akama. He had doubts about all of his followers, but he wasn't going to show them that. We need a mighty army, Akama. Otherwise we will be overwhelmed. Now do what I tell you to do when I tell you to do it. Illidan then brandished his warglaives, started chanting, and strode towards Magtheridon. And as he drew closer, the Pit Lord started to throw a bit of a wobbly. Turned out he wasn't quite as relaxed about the prospect of bloodletting as he'd previously let on. But Illidan didn't give a shit. As he reached Magtheridon, his blades bit chunks out of the demon's flesh, and as a result, green blood started oozing out. And to Illidan, it smelled quite delicious. Some of it even splashed on his face, which he immediately licked. But he fought the urge to start lapping it up off the ground like a savage. The strength it would grant was not worth the price he'd have to pay. He then turned to Akama, who looked absolutely bloody horrified, and barked his orders. Now, Akama, bind the blood. Set it flowing into the channels. So Akama did that. He cast his spell, and the blood slowly filled the channels carved into the floor, and then pulsed into a system of pipes. Pipes that led to a bunch of tanks. And that was that. Illidan smiled. He'd collected the first of what he needed, and now it was time to get to work. A short time later, Illidan had got to work. He was now in a huge gallery, filled with orcs lying down on gurneys, and there were tanks pumping bubbling green fluid into their veins. Akama was also there, still looking horrified, but also a little bit disgusted. This is an abomination, Lord Illidan. So you keep saying, but it's necessary. But is it though? Do you think it's wise to question me? Suddenly, one of the orcs undergoing the procedure stirred, but then seemed to just settle down again. It will make them stronger, faster, make them heal quicker. But at what price, Master? They will be filled with rage and hatred and a hunger for battle. Is there no way to mitigate those side effects? We need those side effects. You've seen the Burning Legion. You've felt its wrath. We need to be just as fierce. You really think the Legion can be defeated here, Lord?
I think they can be held here. So, you only wish to preserve your homeworld? You would turn this one into a battleground? This world already is a battleground. I do not only seek to defend Azeroth, Akama. I wish to preserve all.
And how do you plan on doing that? By turning us all into that which we oppose? As if to emphasize Akama's point, the orc that had previously stirred suddenly opened his eyes and grabbed Illidan by the arm. And Illidan responded by immediately punching it in the neck.
That one was a little too fierce.
Thought that was what you wanted.
I like you, Akama, but don't try my patience. I'm not here to play games. I'm here to win a war.
We all are, Lord. Let's just hope we're all fighting the same one. A week later, Akama and Illidan were up on the ramparts, watching as his new army emerged from the gates of Hellfire Citadel. And Illidan seemed pretty satisfied. He no longer needed to rely on the backing of Kel'Thas and Vash. He had his own army now.
They will establish control across all of Hellfire Peninsula. Then we shall close the Legion's gates and slow their advance.
I sincerely hope so, my lord. When that happens, will you return the Temple of Karabor to my people?
Of course, Akama. Never doubt it.
Akama doubted it. He doubted it 100%. And as he put his hand in his pouch and fumbled about, he felt a rune-carved stone inside, and thought about that Night Elf Warden he'd met with and given the other rune-carved stone to. The following day, Illidan strode into the Chamber of Command, which was his meeting room at the Black Temple. In the centre of this chamber was a three-dimensional map of Outland atop a large table. A whole bunch of blood elves were huddled around it, but they quickly moved out of the way as soon as they saw their master enter. Lord Illidan, Prince Kel'Thas regrets that he could not be present. He's taken a force to close the Legion's gate in the Netherstorm. The magical defences of the temple have been rewoven, my lord. There is no sign of Legion activity in Shadowmoon Valley, Lord Illidan. The gates remain as closed as the day we sealed them. The other blood elf, Virus Dark Shadow, remained silent with his arms folded. Apparently, he did not feel the need to fight for Illidan's attention like the rest of them did, and Illidan just kind of shook his head. It was no wonder Kel'Thas had left them behind. All they ever seemed to do was plot against each other, for his favour. But they were damned good at organising stuff. Pretty efficient peeps, which was probably why they'd taken to calling themselves the Illidari Council.
The Demon Lord Kil'jaeden is displeased with me. He will make his displeasure felt soon enough. Are you certain that the wards are ready, Zerevor?
I would bet my life on it, Lord Illidan.
Good. Melander, send a message to Kel'Thas explaining the situation. I do not want him taking any unnecessary risks.
It shall be done.
Virus, have you done as I asked?
Of course. Our best trackers have searched Hellfire Peninsula and questioned the Felorc clan leaders. A number of night elves have been sighted.
You will find Maiev Shadowsong for me, Virus.
At once, Lord Illidan.
And you, Gazios, ensure that our sentries are alert and that a force is ready to respond to any threat.
It's already done. I took the liberty of surveying the Black Temple's defences for weak points. The sewer outflow is probably our Death Star exhaust hole, if I'm honest. Lady Vash suggested we put one of her champions, High Warlord Nagentus, down there to guard it.
All right then. Well done, everyone. Let's hope all of this is enough.
And we're leaving it there! Jesus, that was a lot of dialogue. And I even streamlined it, because sometimes it feels like people are just saying the same thing over and over again. Plus, it actually kind of hurts my throat to do Illidan's voice. As usual, link in the description if you're interested in buying this book. Also, there's links to my Discord server and my Patreon page too. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, all of that bollocks. And all that's left to say is, thanks for watching, and see ya!